Moon mission. We're going on an absolute moon mission with the Bitcoin miners right now, especially two of them that we've already been in. Let's get into that right away and talk about how we're going to manage this going forward. But before we get going, check out the channel memberships, especially that stalagmite level where you get the real-time trade posts and members only videos. And if we get over 10,000 or up to 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year, I will open up the stalagmite posts to all paid tiers through the end of the year, so you can see how we are going to manage the back end of this, the finale of the Bitcoin run. Currently, we are at, what are we at right now? 9,110. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Push it up to 10. I'll open those up. Open those up to all paid tiers. Okay, anyways. Canaan is up over 21% in the pre-market. I've been in this thing for about 2 weeks now. Currently, in that 2-week period, I got in about right down here. We're currently up almost 180% on the stock. You can imagine what the options are up on that. I got the $2 calls for April that I had run in on here when it was at about in the 70-cent range. This thing was beautiful. I held through this bull flag right here, that textbook bull flag, and it absolutely launched. I figured this was going to happen in the back end of October, but I bought in early October because everything in the cycle has been happening a little bit earlier, so I thought this might happen a little bit earlier too. And if you're in stalagmite, you caught that with me, and it has been absolutely amazing. This thing was up over 400, almost 500% on my options contracts yesterday, and it's going to go even more today. My only regret is that I was planning on doing a little bit more today. I don't know if I can do that when it's on a 20% rip in pre-market, but we'll see what that comes out to. Soluna also, it was up 23.5% yesterday. It's up 23% this morning as well in the pre-market. You can see right here this beautiful, again, bull flag, and it just launched right out of there. And if we get a measured move off of this bad boy, let's do a measured move off of this bad boy. We're still following this fractal here, by the way, as well. I know they're the crayons of TA, but man, is it following it? Is it following that thing? We could move up to about 625 off of this this bull flag alone, which would be a really wicked increase. Like from current price, let's see the pre-market, we're almost at that high there, about 3 something. Let's go to 625. You're looking at another 80% from here just off of that bull flag. That is amazing. I'm very happy to be a holder of Soluna right now. I am looking at this fractal here because it is absolutely following this fractal, and I'd like to see it pop up 910 even more. That would be quite amazing, because remember, Soluna has access to a lot of power for data centers for AI, making it very important potentially as an AI play, or at least an undiscovered one thus far. Anyways, this thing could run. It could run amazingly. Its market cap is now at $178 million. For comparison, Canaan has a market cap of $844 million. We're talking about 4 times as much market cap on Canaan than on Soluna, and Soluna is already at a little over $3 per share, so that's amazing. Bitdeer disappointing me a little bit this morning, so I was going to enter Bitdeer when we got above this little bunching of candles down here, right? Pre-market moved it up 18% right now, blowing way past it. So I'd be looking for price to either stabilize up here or come back down towards 22 to mid 21s. And then from there, I'd be looking at Bitdeer, but right now it has blown past my little space there. I really wanted to see it kind of like close a candle up here above this, like not too far from this, but man, it just took off, and that's okay. It happens. What can you do? We're looking at, let's see, what else is there anything else getting double digits that isn't a warrant? No, nothing else is getting double digits that isn't a warrant. Let's take a look at IREN. IREN is an absolute beast. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. This thing will not stop. It is now at $73. This thing might hit $100. This thing could possibly hit $100. And man, that's wild. And if you miss this thing, so you could look at, let me go in here. If you miss this thing and you want to get involved, one thing you could do, and I'm not suggesting this because this scares me, but I'd go like November, and I would do a cash secured put, and I would look somewhere probably pretty far from the money right now. I mean, even a $50 cash secured put is getting you $312. It's not quite 10%, but that's pretty good, and that's relatively safe. It gives you a nearly $20 cushion over 37 days to see if it's going to come back down or continue to charge higher. And as long as it stays above $50, you collect that $312. Now, is that nearly as much as a call option? Absolutely not. It's not. It's not at all. Like if you did a $100 call option, let's say we did a $100 call option for February, right? And let's say it hit $100 and it did it by November, you're making $1,300 off of that instead of $300. So yeah, I mean, do the math there. But this is decidedly more risky than doing a, like, let's say cash secured put at 50, which would be a delta of, let's go back here, November, which would be a delta of 16, which means there's only a 16% chance that price is going to come back down to that $50 level currently. Now that could change very quickly, but currently you could do a 60 and collect $700, like something like that. Like, so these plays, even though they've run up, if you're really chomping at the bit and want to get involved in it, I'd probably be looking at a cash secured put. Personally, I'm not doing that right now because we're too close to the end of the cycle, and it could end before November 21st, and we could see it crater like first week of November, and I don't want to be holding that. But that's something that you could look at, think about. Like if you think I'm wrong about that, yeah, you can absolutely, that's something to think about, right? Something to consider, maybe something to learn. Of course, nothing I say is financial advice and not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. You must do your own research, come to your own conclusions, and ultimately you are responsible for your own risk because investing is risky and you can lose it all. All right, let's take a look at CleanSpark. CleanSpark is now up over $22. We're up almost 3% in the pre-market here. This thing is holding. Right now, I'd be eyeing 1879. 1879 is what I'm eyeing right now for an area where CleanSpark could break down. If we get lower than that, 1879, remember that 1879, and in fact, I'm going to put a drawing on there right now, and I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to adjust it, settings, and we're going to go to coordinates 1879, and I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to turn my drawings back on so I can see it, and I'm going to go right here, put an alert on here, and I'm going to say bad news, because that is a bad news. So we're going to do that. All right, 1879, I'm watching that. Currently, we're above this. We are above the highest point I have on the fib, meaning I'm going to have to draw a new one. I'm going to have to draw a new fib. Where's this fib going to come from? I'm going to look at this one right here, this bottom right here. So I'm going to go right here. See this little bottom right there? That is at 1226. I'm going to grab that bad boy. And then that's where I got shaken out of some call options, but that's okay. I still have my CleanSpark warrants. And now I'm looking at about 39 off of that move. Now, if we look at that, I'm going to go ahead and leave it there, actually. If we go and look at that, look at the 382 right on that 18, right next to that 1879 level. That's why I've got that marked out on the chart. Look at that. That's beautiful. That is. That's how nice fibs work. On the big fib, you can see we're not even close. The fib that goes from $3 to 24. That fib, if we get over that, we're looking at 33, 38, 59 potentially. So we're watching all of that on CleanSpark right now. In fact, I'm going to get rid of this other fib. I know my CleanSpark chart is a bit out of control. Okay, there we go. We're looking good. We're looking good. All right. CleanSpark warrants this morning up 16%. We're at 90 cents. What did I say about that level down here? What did I say about that fib level over here? As soon as we get through 56, we're going to hit 72. As soon as we're above 72, we're going to hit 82. And as soon as we're making candles above that 82 level, where are we going from there? That's right, about $1.23. That's what we're looking at. That is what we're looking at. And if we draw a new fib, which will be from this little swing down here, about 38 cents. I mean, it's not perfect. I think it's like 36 actually, but I'm not gonna bother. That's gonna look good enough for me right now. We get above 98 cents here, which actually tapped $1, but that's okay. I did it in a pre-market, I believe. 98 cents. As soon as we get above that, 122, very close to 123, then 136, and then 197. And then potentially even higher from there, because then we start looking at these fibs over here, which are 225, 263, and 424. On the way down, here we are looking at about 75 cents as the area where if we close a candle completely detached from 75 cents, we could be coming back down towards the 50, 40 cent range there on that. Okay, so that's very interesting. Hive is another one I'm in here. Hive, I kind of want to add to my Hive because this is looking like a nice little bull flag right here, and as soon as it breaks out from that, I'm looking at it to move higher. That'd be pretty exciting. MARA is a laggard here. Now, MARA shook me out, and man, that shook me out. Not yesterday, but the day before. No, it was yesterday. It shook me out yesterday. I sold some of my 20 calls at market open, and then it just rocketed. It sucked a little bit, but I'm still holding quite a few 30 strike calls for March. This cup and handle is happening now. This is happening. This cup and handle here came down. We closed above it. Now the next move. Let's look at the measured move on this bad boy. The measured move on MARA is, let's take a look at this cup. Just on this cup, the measured move is $27. Now, we're going to do one other thing here, because this cup was part of a broader cup that was here. Did we go beneath it? Did we invalidate it? We rode the line. So I'd say we did not quite invalidate it, actually. All right, what's this cup? This cup pushes all the way up to 32.86. So I don't think MARA's done yet. I don't think MARA's done yet by a long shot. And if we go into a weekly chart, let's take a look at the weekly chart, turn off some drawings, not drawings. Let me turn off hide all. If we go to a weekly chart, what are we seeing? What are we seeing on a weekly chart here? Oh, actually, I can do this without bringing back all the drawings. Hold on. Draw on page. All right. We're looking at a bit of a falling wedge that we're breaking out of, which means we're going to be coming up to whatever this level is, which is, let's see, what is that level? That level is about 33. Yes. But if we start closing candles above that, we're looking at pushing towards highs in the 50s and more on MARA. It's current MARA. Market cap 8 billion. So if we doubled up, we'd be at 16 billion, which would be seeing us at $44. And honestly, if we just hit 16 billion, IREN has shown us that a Bitcoin miner can go higher than that. Is currently at $18 billion. Also, look at this. This is what a parabolic blow-off top move looks like right here. And when this collapses, it will probably come back down to about 28 bucks at least. We're going to pay attention for that at some point in the future, not now. So $18 billion. If MARA can just touch $18 billion in market cap, we're more than double. That's $10 billion more than current. That would be $45, $50. Same thing with CleanSpark. If it could go to that, 18 billion, we're looking at a 3x from here. So we're looking at about $66 on CleanSpark in that case. So wild times. HUT is another one I wanted to get behind, but it's going to be a little tough. I can't buy everything. So I can't buy everything, unfortunately. Wolf is another one a lot of people want to get behind. And you know what? Yeah, why not? We got above that rising wedge. We closed above 16.19. We're opened up to $23. Okay, pretty cool. Hive. Did I mention? Yeah, I mentioned Hive. All right. So what else is going on? So notice MicroStrategy still floundering. MicroStrategy. It's not doing very much. I would not be surprised. Look at this. We have this megaphone pattern come through. Let me get a daily going on here. We had a megaphone pattern come through here. We were making higher highs and lower lows. We're still following this fractal here, where I'm expecting it to come up to maybe 400 bucks again and then start to roll over. Notice how even though Bitcoin's been making brand new all-time highs, MSTR has been falling. The thing that scares me about that fact is BMNR is a similar crypto treasury company. They're based off of Ethereum, Tom Lee at the helm, and that leaves me a little bit concerned. Now they're making higher highs and higher lows, though. That's different. They are making higher highs and higher lows. I don't know if it will get back to this previous high back here and like the 150 this cycle. I wouldn't be surprised to see like 70, 80 bucks. Maybe come up, touch the bottom of this wick over here, fill this gap right here. I mean, it's not a gap because it's already been filled, but somewhere around like 92, possibly for BMNR. But yeah, that's it. Anyways, this cycle is getting pretty close to an end. This is pretty frothy right now. So I'm very excited about a lot of things right now. Okay, but be aware that we're coming towards the end of the cycle. So we're going to see some wild things. We're going to see some pretty crazy moves on some things that we've never heard of. We're going to see some pretty crazy moves on some things that we've been watching a while, like BKKT. Wild. Look at this. This thing also had a textbook bull flag. A subscriber mentioned this to me before. I have not had time to look at what this is. I've been so like pulled in so many different directions, but I mean, look at this. This is technically perfect bull flag. We close above this thing could do a measured move, and that measured move would be from down here, this little low right here, above this top right up here, and we're looking at $83. This is a double up, basically. We're looking at a double up from current prices for BKKT. And if we go to options and we do BKKT, and we went to, like, let's say March, and we bought what, like out of the money. Wow, these are expensive. These are really expensive. If we bought like a 65, 70, if we bought a 70, that's $1,200. And if it goes up to $80 between now and, well, there it is. We go between now and the end of November, that's a $150 gain, which is a 150% gain, which in this case would be looking at about $1,800. The other option would be to do something like maybe a bull call spread if you got a margin and you're familiar with that, or like a cash secured put, where like I maybe go, if you're really bullish, you can go on the money on these things, collect $2,000, but nobody's trading that, so it'd be hard to get out if you needed to. Like nobody's trading those cash secured puts that high. Nobody's trading puts on this thing at all. That's insane. Let's see, what about November? Nobody's trading puts on this thing at all. There are no puts on this thing. That's a little spooky, actually. I'd probably just do shares. I'd probably just do shares on this thing, so I'm scared. Or things like BTM. I've been watching BTM lately. I've been watching BTM. Now, this thing's just been falling and falling and falling and falling. Pre-market, it's up a teeny tiny bit, but I'm not just watching BTM. I'm watching BTMWW, which is their warrants. And if BTM starts to take off, warrants could move from 30 cents to 68 cents, potentially even making highs up in the dollar range here at some point in the future. We don't know if it will or will not, but that's possible. Oh, another ETH play, ETHU, I believe it is. Yeah, ETHU. That's a 2x play on Ethereum. Very dangerous since it's leverage right now, but this is something I've looked at before. Look at this thing, man. I traded this thing back here on this flag here from 56 to like 100, and I got out around 80, 90. I should have just held the thing, but this is looking a little bit like a scary pattern right here. We got this bit of head and shoulders looking thing. So if we come back here, we could see this come back down to about 58. That'd be scary. I wouldn't like that. Let's see, ETH, let's see how Ethereum's looking. Turn that off. Not too bad, actually. It's not too bad. Let me turn off my drawings again. All right. Not too shabby. Oh, man. All right. Someday I'll get this right. There we go. Yeah, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. We really just need to see Ethereum pop back up above 4,800, and we're rolling. Same thing with like Solana. You just want to see it hold 200, pop back up here around 230, 250-ish, that range, and then we're off to the races. Same thing with kind of a lot of them. Anyways, I'm gonna start shifting towards some other assets here in the not too distant future. I'm gonna look a lot at AI plays more. I'm gonna look a lot more at like battery technology, renewable energies, rare earths, stuff like that. A lot of that's what I'm gonna be doing here in the near future. So stay tuned, because that's how I'm gonna be managing the fall on the crypto market, which I do fully expect to start happening here within the next 60 to 90 days. But I am absolutely enjoying this run up right now and making tons of money. It's quite amazing. Anyways, that's all I've got for you today. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, share this video. We got to grow that channel, get that subscriber count to 10,000 subscribers so I can open up the stalagmite posts to all paid tiers. Check out the channel membership if you just can't wait getting that stalagmite level there and get the real-time trade posts and the members only videos. And with that said, have a profitable day.